I'm working on this John Deere 110 garden tractor. This is part 24 of a multi-part series. In the last video, I installed this belt guard that I forgot about. And I got the mower deck drive working. Now I need to start cleaning up this mower deck. As you can see, this is the way it came off the tractor. It's been pretty well maintained. It has been repaired a number of times. Here's a repair on this end. Both of the rear mounting points have been repaired. This right side wheel has been reattached. They did a pretty good job. This thing's been repaired to keep on working. This skid bar has been repaired, and then it wore out again. There should be a belt guard on there. It was missing when I got it. I'll turn it upside down to dump all the loose stuff and take a look at the bottom. That looks pretty good. They must have scraped it out regularly after using it, because there's not any big chunks of grass in there. This front section's been reinforced. It looks like the front mounting brackets had to be repaired, just like the ones in the rear. This roller's crooked, but that's the way it was welded back on there. I think I'll clean the bottom first. I'll start with the scraper. There's some rust chunks in this area. I'll knock them off with a welding hammer. I want to take this belt off and see if everything turns. I need a way to get some leverage against that spring. Maybe with this pry bar. That'll work. This one has that spring against it. That blade is kind of stuck. These two turn, but they're rubbing against each other. I'll have to do something about this spring to check this one. Maybe I can get this to turn. Yeah, that might be okay. Gotta see if there's a way to get grease in it. I want to see if this double pulley turns okay, but this spring and arm's right up against it. This spring has long hooks on the end. I don't think I can unhook the spring. I'm gonna have to take this bolt out. It's turning, but nothing's changing. There must be a nut under there. Yep, the nut's turning. Gotta get another wrench. If I hold down on this to take the pressure off, I can get the nut off. There's a bushing in this part, and the big washer goes on the bottom. That might be a bronze bushing. This pulley turns okay, and that pulley turns okay. That blade on the left is the tight one. It frees up when you turn it for a while. I'm going to start wire brushing this side. That dark spot's a little bit oily. I'm going to go around that for now. This looks like oil that had a lot of heat around it. It's really stuck on there. And I don't want to scrape into the paint. I'm going to use some carburetor cleaner on it. This is the one that doesn't turn very well, and it's also the one with the baler twine hanging out of it. I'm going to take the blade off and see if I can get that out of there. Well, that didn't work. That looks like it's all one piece. I don't have anything to lose. I'm going to get some pliers and try to pull some of that out of there. Well, that didn't work either. It's not any worse than it was. I'm going to put the blade back on. Just to try something different, I have the mower deck standing on edge, and I'm going to drip some oil in there and see if that does anything. Well, that didn't work. I'm going to spray it down with WD-40. This is all the parts I have left, and they don't all need degreased. This spring and this shaft are dry. All of this hardware is dry. This pulley and arm and spacer are oily. I'm going to work on those. I need some WD-40 on these parts. I want to get all the hardware ready before I mess with the spring. The big washer was on the bottom. The rusty washer was on the underside, and the other washer was on top. I'm surprised that rubs on there that hard. Isn't that right, Jake? This pulley's leaning over at an angle. Maybe that shaft got bent somehow. Looking at the top, you can see how that pulley's leaning. Looking at the bottom, nothing looks bent. But if you look at that collar around the shaft, it looks like it's been welded in at an angle, intentionally. I have the mower deck blocked up so it's parallel to the floor. I have a white board here that's pretty straight and flat. And this is a machinist square. So this edge here should be perpendicular to the mower deck. Now if I hold this steel rule up against that shaft mounting, you can see how much of an angle it's on. So I think that was made that way, and I'm not going to try to change it. This old belt's already got the right shape to it, and it goes in there like that. Once you get the belt on, this spring is in a position that don't touch the pulley anymore. The front of the drive belt will be higher than this pulley, so that's why it's on an angle. This is all the hardware that I have left. I don't see two big clevis pins, but here's two bolts with holes in them with some matching hairpins. There's two more connections for the lift mechanism. I have one clevis pin left here that I can use for this one. I'm going to take this back off just so you can see what's behind it. I have a new bolt here with the washer, and it's long enough to have a flat washer and two nuts. Then I'll jam the nuts together so it'll maintain that position. Wait, I have to redo that. This belt has to be on first because that lift bracket passes through the belt. And I'll put the bolt in the other direction because there's more belt clearance on that side. It looks like the belt will clear on both sides. That'll work. Now I need to put this outer bracket back on. That looks okay. So I should be able to put the belt on. That's not working. I'll disconnect the spring. That'll let it move farther. Now I need to get this going the right direction. The engine turns this direction, so the lower part of the belt would pull forward. With the blades turning clockwise from the top, the belt needs to pull forward on the left side. So I have that backwards. The belt has to pull forward on the left side of the deck. Is that right? Engine pulls forward on the bottom, and the mower deck needs pulled forward on the left. Yep, that should work. This spring is easier to pull on from the front. Well, that's what it looks like. I don't see the belts touching anywhere they shouldn't be. Let's give it a test. Well, that's as far as I'm going this time, and here's what it looks like. I don't have the belt guard that should be on top of the mower deck, and I don't have the belt guard that should be over the engine pulley. Next time I'll try to adjust the mower deck so it's parallel to the ground. Alright, that's it.